How's it going, everyone? We're back. We're here with another crazy, cool, very fun tier list. And what that means is that we're going to be moving on and we're going to be ranking the Pokemon from Generation 2, Gold and Silver, that era of Pokemon. Now, as far as the last time we did this went, people were getting very, very heated. And the reason I think that is because Gen 1 is basically a gen that everyone who is interested in Pokemon at all has some level of nostalgia for. So there's a lot of very intense ideas around it. So I don't think that my correct opinions are going to be quite as fought against in this episode. But I may be incorrect. We're just going to have to see. So without further ado, I don't expect the crowd to be quite as lively. But without further ado, this episode is going to be a lot. I've said without further ado twice and haven't gotten into the episode yet because I have more things I want to say. This one's also going to be a lot shorter, primarily because the list of Pokemon is also a lot shorter. But we'll go ahead and jump into it here. All right. So first up, we have Chikorita, grass starter. The thing with Chikorita is, this is not a very unpopular opinion. I don't super like Chikorita. I think the design's pretty boring. I think that all in all, it's just a really boring grass starter design. There's way better grass starters that come later, and well, Bulbasaur is a lot better. I think she's really, really not that great. So I think that we're going to put Chikorita to start us off here. Honestly, as sad as it makes me, I think we want to put Chikorita into yeah, I think this may change because I may realize I like Chikorita more than I thought, but we're going to put Chikorita in D tier. Now, Bayleaf, on the other hand, is a lot better. It's a lot cooler. It's a lot more dynamic. It's a lot sharper. It looks a lot more like it can actually fight. And for that reason, I think, honestly, I think we put Bayleaf in A right here. Next up, wow, this gen is a whole lot shorter than I actually remember it being. I thought a lot of Pokemon got added in Gen 2, but I guess not. So Meganium is the next evolution here, and I think Meganium's actually a step backwards. I really do, because I think that Bayleaf has a lot of really cool things going on. And I get the theming, but like we lose the cool leaf, we lose the buds were really cool looking. I don't think it's the right step. It is a lot better than Chikorita though. I think we put Meganium in C. Now Cyndaquil, on the other hand, is a very, very good starter design. If you want to do a starter, Cyndaquil is the right way to go about it. He's adorable. The idea is really solid. He's a great design. I love Cyndaquil a lot. He's the best. He's an S tier. Easy pickings. Quilava is also pretty good. It's definitely, I think, a step backwards as far as just design goes. But it is still really solid. The fire motif is, I think, very, very strong. So we're gonna. Do I like Quilava? You like Chikorita more than most people. It is, yeah, definitely is the worst of the Gen 2 starters. My mic just tried to run away from me. How unprofessional of me. Yeah. So yeah, we have agreements on Chikorita, which I basically expected. That's pretty much the consensus. I'm not sure if I like Quilava more. If me wrestling with the mic, by the way, people who are watching, if my audio sounds weird now, let me know so I can take the time to fix it. It should still be coming through okay. But if not, just let me know. I think I like Quilava a little less than Bayleaf. And Typhlosion, do I want to... I think Cyndaquil is much stronger. My mic has recently, everyone, fun fact, my mic has been, not the mic itself, but the stand has been sort of losing its grip a bit recently. I feel like it's better. I feel like I've fixed it. I'm very sorry. That's very unprofessional of me. Typhlosion is very good, but I do not think he is still on the same level as Cyndaquil, but he's definitely going to top off our A tier here. Totodile is very cute. I like Totodile a lot. Totodile's kind of boring. I'm going to say. Totodile's a little boring. It's a pretty basic crocodile design. In fact, I think all three of them are pretty boring. I think I think Totodile. See, it's so much just like a crocodile that I just called it a crocodile. Totodile is a pretty solid, I think it is still better than Meganium. Solid C tier. Croconaw is actually better. There's a lot more personality to Croconaw. So Croconaw will throw up in B tier first. Feraligatr, I think, takes another step back. Like, Feraligator's cool. Don't get me wrong, Feraligator's cool. But the reason that Feraligator's cool has nothing to do with its actual design. The reason that Feraligatr is cool is just because it's a crocodile. Yeah, Totodile. See, I think Croconaw, some slight disagreements about Totodile. Some is saying that Totodile is an S tier for them. See, Totodile is solid, but I don't know. It's just kind of boring to me. That's the thing. I think a lot of the Gen 2 designs, like even the starters, are pretty forgettable. I think Feraligator's a C tier, and I think I like Meganium more than Feraligatr. Okay, I'm getting close to something very dangerous. It's going to be very exciting content for the stream. So now we have Sentret. I think Sentret's cute. Sentret's a little boring. But it's boring, but it's also a little interesting there. There's a lot of Pokemon in Gen 2 with markings, which is cool. I like it. Personally prefer Totodile over Croconaw. Yeah, I mean, actually, now that I'm looking at it here, I still think that I like Croconaw more, but I think I want to move Totodile up to B. You've convinced me here. He's a cute little guy. He's good. Sentret is kind of boring. Raccoon thing. I don't know actually what animal Sentret is supposed to be based on. But we're gonna throw Sentret. I think Sentret is a C tier. Definitely worse than these two. So now we're in. Okay, so I have some explaining to do. Furret is very dangerous territory because Furret is my girlfriend's favorite Pokemon. She either is or is about to come in and watch the stream. I know that she was busy, but she said that she was going to try and stop in. Don't know if she's here right now, but I am not going to let that scare me, and I am going to give an honest and fair opinion of Furret. So, I think Furret is very good. I think Furret is a very cute design, and as far as the Pokemon who were really kind of just cute for the sake of being cute, I think Furret is one of, especially in this gen, maybe with some variation, but I think Furret is definitely the best. It's a very simple design. If I'm being honest, it's a little boring, but that's kind of what makes it effective. So, all of that to say, I think Furret is, I don't think Furret is an S tier. Again, just because Furret is a little simple and a little boring. But I do think Furret is a very solid A tier, and I think I will put Furret right behind Typhlosion. I don't think Furret and Typhlosion are really going to move. They're probably going to stay first and second. We'll see. Hoot Hoot is an owl. I like Hoot Hoot. It's got one leg. No, it's got two legs, but it always only stands on one. This cute little thing. It kind of has like a clock motif that doesn't really go anywhere with its eyebrows, and I think that's a little odd. But I mean, Hoothoot's fine. I don't have a problem with Hoot Hoot. Hoothoot's kind of boring. A lot of these designs are kind of boring. You put Quilava above Furret. Yeah, that's fair. Hoothoot, I think Hoothoot's a B. Behind Chikorita. Noctowl. I think Noctowl's cool looking, but Noctowl is it's you know where it's gonna go. Noctowl goes right here. And the reason why, it's a cool design, but it is not cool for any reason other than Noctowl is literally just an owl. Hoothoot has some stuff that sets it apart. Noctowl is just an owl. There is nothing special about him that makes him anything special. He is just an owl. Yeah, it's not. It's the Dugong situation all over again, where it's just exactly the animal. And I don't like. That's not gonna get a high ranking because that's not super creative to me. Ladybug is not great either. Ladybug's better. Ladybug is, I think, a good, outside of the fact that Ladybug is an absolutely terrible Pokemon. Ladybug and Leedian are both absolutely terrible, and you should never use them in a game unless you want to lose all the time. I think that Ladybug is all right. It's a cute design. I think it's using the 6 legs really well, which is somewhat difficult. I think it's cute. I think its eyes have a lot of personality. With that said, again, it's kind of also just a ladybug, but we're going to put it in C behind Sentret. Leedian is better. Leedian is a lot sharper. Leedian has a lot more personality. Leedian better get Ladybug better get an F if Noctowl. Ladybug has more to it than Noctowl does, though. The eyes are way different than a normal lady. It's a lot different. There's more to it. I like Ladybug a lot, but maybe you're right. I think Ladybug actually is probably more around here. I agree that Noctowl is better than Ladybug if you take into account everything else. But if you're just looking at them design-wise, I think that Ladybug is a stronger design than Noctowl. I think that Leedian is a lot better. Leedian looks a lot cooler. I need to move my cursor out of the way. Sorry, everyone. Leedian is a lot more sleek, a lot more streamlined. It's a lot sharper. It's a lot more powerful looking. Leedian, I like Leedian a lot. I tried to use a Leedian once, but they're just stat-wise and in-game-wise, they're so terrible that I am. But as a design, I think Leedian is very solid. In fact, I think I'm going to slot Leedian. Jeez, do I want? Yeah, I think I'm going to put Leedian up here. I really do. Look, and you can debate me on Noctowl. All right. Actually, see, Ladybug just kind of looks... Maybe you're right. Maybe Ladybug does go down. Especially if you compare it to the Evolute. You know what? Here. It is still better than Noctowl, but we'll throw Ladybug down an F. Spinarak is a good. I like Spinarak. Spinarak's cute. Spinarak is a there's Caroline. There she is. Okay, she's happy where I put Furret. Good. Caroline, Furret's a little boring, which is why he is an S tier. A little boring. If he was a little more colorful or something, he would have been S tier probably, but he's a little boring. Spinarak. I like Spinarak. Spinarak is a good spider. Spinarak isn't a great spider, but the colors and everything, I think, make it a lot stronger, and it's not like just a spider. So we're gonna put Spinarak. I think Spinarak goes here in front of Sentret. Ariados, on the other hand, is a super good spider. If you're gonna do a spider Pokemon, this is the way to do it. I like Ariados a lot. Ariados isn't a Pokemon that I've used a lot. I don't have much of a connection to Ariados, but Ariados is Ariados is a very cool. It's a really cool design. It's a very good design. I like Ariados a lot. So I think Ariados is up in A tier. I think I still like Bayleaf a little more. But we're gonna throw Ariados right there. And I told you why I didn't put him in S tier because he's just a little bit boring. I'm sorry. Crobat is another very good design. It's a really good way to end out. Yeah, Ariados is awesome. Crobat's a cool design. It's a good way to end out like that iconic bat line. I think it's super solid. The purple really pops. I like Crobat a lot. Crobat is A tier, but I'm not sure where A tier. I think he's at the end. I think I like all these more than Crobat, but Crobat's A tier. Now, hey, here's something. This is a Pokemon that I'm going to put in a very low tier. Probably both of them. But it's not because they just look like an animal. It's because I really just think they're ugly. And that is Chinchou and Lantern. Chinchou is definitely an F. Bottom tier. Will probably be the lowest on the list. I hate how it looks. I think it's so weird and gross. Lantern is, for a different reason, ugly. Primarily just because Lantern is very, very boring. Lantern is not a good design. It's the asymmetric head, whatever on it, I don't think works. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's cohesive at all. Honestly, looking at them, I'm actually gonna do that. I think Lantern is worse. I think that line is. I never remember that line. It's so forgettable, and that's because it's so boring, and you do not want to use them. Just from looking at them, you would not want them to fight from you. That's my opinion, at least. But I just think they're not good at all. Pichu's okay. Don't hate Pichu. I don't think Pichu's stellar. I think Pichu is one of the baby Pokemon that got you see they're in game, they're all right because they have a strong, like, they're electric water, which is a strong typing. It's a very defensive typing, which is good. But they're just boring. They're boring, dude. Like, I'm not gonna fight with that one. I can fight with Cool Spider and Fire. Whatever animal type no? Does someone know what animal type floats? Pichu isn't gonna be S tier. Pichu's probably B. I think Pichu's Pichu's there. We'll throw Pichu there. I'm not gonna fight on Pichu. I'm not gonna overly explain Pichu. Pichu is worse Pikachu. The design's a lot more boring. That's all I have to say. In Smash, Pichu is very good, but this isn't that. This is Peter being very mean to Pokemon and judging them for their bodies. This is all just very anti-body positivity, but specifically against Pokemon. Cleffa is not great either. Cleffa's also pretty boring. That said, I think it's better than a lot of things, but I think it's better than all those, but I do think it's a D tier. Now, Igglybuff, on the other hand, that's a good baby Pokemon. That's how you do it right. All right? I'll say it. That's a good design. That's really strong. A little swirl. It's cute. It's good. It's very cute. That's probably... I'm not sure if... is Igglybuff A tier for me? Honestly, yeah. Honestly, I think that Igglybuff is ahead of Crobat for me. Yeah. And I don't know who you're telling me to shut up about and that he's adorable. Also, my girlfriend's dad is asking about their cat. Your cat, if Tonks, the cat, was a Pokemon, probably S tier. Togepi is good. I approve of Togepi. The concept's really cute. The design delivers on it fairly well. It's not... I don't think it's stellar. That's the thing with a lot of the Gen 2. If we do Gen 3, which will largely depend on on just things. But if we do Gen 3, I'm going to have a lot more strong opinions just because I think that there's a lot more to talk about with the designs. But a lot of the Gen 2 designs are basically the designers looking at Pokemon like Dugong and like a lot of the lower tiers that I put in the last video and sort of saying like we should do more of those. And it's not so much that he's that they're as bad as those, especially in the context of this gen as a whole, but it's more so just that trying to catch my words here. It's more so just that a lot of the designs are just very, I think, forgettable and are sort of resting very heavily on just like, well, it's this animal, so we don't have to do too much. You know, there's a lot of them in this gen where it's just sort of like, it's like we took an animal, but then we made it a little spikier and made it a different color. And I think there's a lot of those, or it's not even, sometimes like with Noctowl, they don't even make it a different color. Togepi isn't one of those, but a lot of them I don't have strong feelings on just because I don't think the designs have too much like to really talk about, if that makes sense. Anywho, Togepi is put Togepi in. Yeah, I think Togepi goes here. Togetic is better. I think it's not too much better, but I do think I like it more than these. So Togetic goes right there. Natu is the first one. Natu's cool. The inspiration behind it, the fact that it's a psychic type, I think comes through really strong, especially in its eyes. I think Natu's cool. Natu's a good bird. If you're gonna do a bird, Natu's a good way to do a bird. I think Natu's very strong as a design. The colors are all solid. I think he's cute, which always helps at least a little bit. Yeah, right there. Xatu is, I think, better. I think his design's a lot more sharp. I will say that the evolutions in Gen 2 usually make the Pokemon a lot better, which I don't think, which is not the case in a lot of the gens, but especially in Gen 1, I think a lot of times the Pokemon would get worse when they'd evolve. But Xatu's better. Right there. A tier is actually looking a little light compared to the last video. I don't really have that many Pokemon up in A tier, which I don't know how that bodes for the rest of the stream here, but I may not like Gen 2 that much. Mareep is a sheep, but it's blue. There's a little bit more going on, but Mareep is kind of just a sheep that's blue. Mareep goes there. Flaffy's better. Yeah, Ampharos. I like Ampharos. Ampharos is going to go high, but I'm not sure how high. That said, Flaffy is better. Walking on two legs makes it just a lot less like it's just a sheep. It's not great, but I think it's better than... I think it's a tier up and then some. Ampharos, on the other hand, good Pokemon. Strong design. It's just abstract enough to where you can't tell directly what animal it's based on. Kind of looks like a giraffe, but also it could just be some type of farm animal, which I think it's a Pokemon design is better if you can't pinpoint exactly what animal it's based on. A lot of the times. Not always. Like Furret is obviously a ferret and Ariados is obviously a spider. But I think that it helps when you can't directly pin it to something in the real world because it makes it more fantastical, and when you're working in a fantastical world, it's easier if your designs are allowed to sort of breathe outside of reality, which makes Ampharos very strong. I definitely don't like it more than Ariados. I'm debating whether I like it more than Quilava or not. I don't think I do, but still, low A for Ampharos. Blossom is fine. I'm not a huge fan of Blossom, but I'm also not a huge fan of that line. I think that line peaks at Gloom. Yeah. I like the Rosalia is Gen 3. But Blossom we have here. Blossom's all right. I think Blossom is better than Vileplume as far as that evolutionary line is concerned, which is helpful. But I think that Blossom also isn't super strong. It has a lot more personality to it, which does help. But I think it's a pretty mid-low C tier. Head of Centered and Togepi, but definitely behind Spinarak. Meryl is very strong. It has a lot of the same design sort of ideas that they use to make Pikachu as good as he is. I think the little squiggly tail is very cute and works very well. Do I want Meryl up in A tier? I think I do. I think I want Meryl ahead of Crobat. See, I want to put Typhlosion. I thought about putting Typhlosion up in S tier, but I feel like I care more about some designs than I do with Typhlosion, but I may move him up in a bit here. Ampharos, I think Ampharos is very good, but just with this list that we have set up, I'd have to move a lot of stuff to S tier to feel comfortable moving Ampharos up to S tier. Azumarill is, I think, less strong than Meryl. I think it's less strong than a lot of them. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, I never really... I carried you hard through a Mega Ruby. Yeah, Azumarill's fine. It's just not a crazy strong design. I think it's worse than Ledian, but I think it's better than Xatu. Pseudo Widow. The idea behind it is very strong. The design is a little too... This is going to be a weird thing to say in a Pokemon video. The design's a little too dopey for me. It's a little too goofy. If you take his... it's just a little... It's a little odd. I kind of like how sort of goofy it is. But on the other hand, it just... I'd especially comparing it with like the ones that we've already thrown up there, it's just a little... I don't know, man. There's something about it. There's something... It almost feels like too round. I don't know. It's a weird thing to explain. I'm just not a huge fan of Pseudo Widow. I think it's pre-evolution. I think Bonsly is a lot better. I think Pseudo Widow... Also, Pseudo Widow, again, I'm tempted to throw it somewhere in here. But Pseudo Widow is also kind of just a tree. So... I like it more than Cleffa. But I'm not sure. It looks like a hot dog. Yeah, I bet. I'm also not... No, right there. Polytoed. And this is going to feel like such a contradiction. Because Polytoed also looks very dopey. Polytoed does it right. I think Pseudo Widow is the way you do it wrong. Polytoed is good. I think Polytoed is belongs higher. I like Polytoed. How much? I'm not sure. But we'll see. Let's see. No. There. Perfect. All right. Now it's time for the in my opinion, the 3 most forgettable Pokemon that have ever been in any games ever. Hoppip, Skiploon, and Jumpluff, who I think are all design-wise are fine, but they're pretty lame. Also, their designs are fine, but their designs are very safe. Their designs are very boring. I don't super like any of them. I think Hoppip, though, is definitely the strongest. I think Hoppip goes right there. Yeah, I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I think Skiploom is definitely an F. I like it. Honestly, there. And Jumpluff is, I think, better. But not by much. There. That's just not, it's not a good, they're pretty boring. Apom. I hope you're all ready. Because Apom is an S tier. 100%. No doubt in my head. Look at him. He's a monkey, but he's got this big old hand that he smacks you around with. He's I don't know. You may argue that I'm sort of going against my rule, and you may argue that Apom is just a monkey. But that hand, like legitimately, just that's all I really need to be like this Pokemon is something more than just the animal that it is. But that hand that makes it. I don't know. Apom is good. I think. Apom's very very strong. Sunkern sucks. In as far as the game goes, I'm pretty sure Sunkern is just like objectively, statistically, is the worst Pokemon. Sunkern's bad. Design wise, I think Sunkern's okay. I don't think Sunkern's awesome. I think Sunkern's better than Pseudo Widow though. And better than Hoppip, actually. Yeah, Sunkern right there. Sunflora, on the other hand, is very close to me just saying it's just a sunflower with a face and dumping it in F tier. But I'm going to do a little more soul searching. See, this thing is I don't think it's better than... Yeah, I think it goes there. There's a lot of Fs too. I have almost as many Fs as I have As, which really does not is not good for this list. Yanma is also S tier though. See that's the reason why if I ever have to think about an S tier, I think it's a problem. But if I will without a doubt throw something in S tier if I don't have to think about it. And Yanma is great. Is Yanma's also kind of almost just a dragonfly. But I think the little thing that makes it look like a plane and the stripes, the way that it's the colors really help a lot with Yanma. I think its evolution is super good too, but we aren't talking about that yet. I think Yanma is very strong as well. Yanma is very solid. Wooper is, I guess, supposed to be an axolotl, but boy, you couldn't tell. It really just looks like a bowling pin, huh? I think Wooper's good. Wooper's very simple, which is, I think, usually is usually good. Is usually strong when it comes to Pokemon. It's hard to not like Wooper. I think Wooper's a high B. I think it's behind Leedy, and it's definitely behind all of these. Wooper's a high B. Quagsire, I like just as much, actually. A lot of people think that Quagsire, like, it gets worse when you jump up to Quagsire. But I disagree. I think Quagsire's a lot. It is also very good. Honestly, I may like it more. Do I like Quagsire more? This will be a revelation to me. Dang. Trying to decide where I want him. I think I do like him more than Wooper, but I do think Leedian is still holding the front of B tier pretty solidly. Yeah, this gen is a lot more just evenly spread. I think there's a few like really strong designs. Espeon is okay. I don't super love Espeon. Wooper A, Quagsire S, Espeon and Umbreon A, Murkrow B. That is the advice from my friend who's having to head out. You have a good one. Espeon and Umbreon both A. I think I'd agree with that. I I do not agree with Quagsire S, though. I think Quagsire is still high B. I think Espeon is an A. I think Espeon is a low A, though. I don't think it's as good as Crobat. That's not where Umbreon goes. I'm just putting it there for a sec. Umbreon, I think I like more than Crobat. Honestly. Yeah. Umbreon goes right there in A tier. And Murkrow B is what you said. I can't help. I can't. Dang. Yeah, I can't help but disagree. Murkrow's S tier. Murkrow is 100% S tier. Look at him. He's got a hat. His tail's all cool. I love Murkrow. I think Murkrow is great. Murkrow is an awesome Pokemon. Slowking is pretty good. I think it's better than Slowbro or Slowpoke. I think it's way stronger. Yes, there. Misdreavus is a good ghost type. That's a good, solid ghost type that I think is very strong. I think it's a cute little spirit. I think it works very well. This isn't where it goes. I'm just putting it there for a sec. Yeah, I think Misdreavus is very strong, very solid. But how strong is the question. One problem I don't think many of the Gen 2 Pokemon have is none of them are too busy. Like they are always, like, color wise and shape wise, they are always very clear. There's nothing that super pulls attention, at least not where it's not supposed to, which I think is very good. I think they definitely learned from that. Yeah. Unknown. It's a cool idea that there's a whole alphabet of them. But there's symbols with eyeballs. And while the concept is super cool, if you look at any of them just individually, as individuals, this one's an F. If you look at any of them just as individuals, they're so boring. They're so boring. They're not F tier boring, but like they're boring for sure. Wobbuffet. I'm not going to talk about Unknown anymore. No one ever uses them. I think if there is a single Pokemon that no person in history has ever used in a team, in a game, it's Unknown. Wobbuffet is good. Wobbuffet is full of personality. The little tail is cute. Wobbuffet goes there. A tier. Girafarig. I like a lot, actually. Girafarig's going to be high. The little split body, the tail's cool. The color scheme's nice. It's far enough away so where it's not just a giraffe. Honestly, yeah, right there. Pineco, it's a pine cone. At least it looks angry, which makes it better than a lot of these. Fortress is very abstract, and I do like that in a Pokemon. I like when they're willing to make something that's just really weird, and it's just seems to be based on nothing, which is what Fortress is, and I think that's cool. I think that's strong. I think that's nice. It's nice to see. But that said, it's not that good. There are better ones that sort of take that design idea later that really make it better. But as far as Fortress goes, he's not the best. Yes, right there, C tier. Dunsparce, I like. Dunsparce is weird. It's a legless serpent, I'm pretty sure is what it's based on. It's based on a Japanese fable that I'm not actually very familiar with. But I know it's based on Japanese mythology, but I'm not sure exactly what part of Japanese mythology it's based on, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore, so I don't look like a fool. Dunsparce is good, though. Dunsparce goes here. Gligar, tempted to put Gligar in S, but let me actually observe and think. Like Gligar more than Espeon, and more than Crobat. Definitely more than Meryl, Igglybuff. There. That's the Gligar spot. Steelix is fine. I mean, it's if you're gonna evolve Onix, like that's what you do. It's just Steelix is kind of boring. Like if you're gonna take Steelix, you think is that S for Gligar or for Steelix? I don't think Steelix is S tier for sure. Yeah, I don't super like Steelix actually. Now that I'm looking at him. Wow, I really don't like Steelix. As I'm going through, I'm like, it's like I like most of these more than Steelix, except for Sunkern. Snubbull is all right. It's a good bulldog. It's definitely far enough removed where it's not just a bulldog. Snubbull goes somewhere. Snubbull goes there. Granbull's worse, significantly worse. Like way worse. Yeah, Gligar. See, Gligar is good. I like Gligar a lot. But just looking at it, like if you had just asked me like off without the context of this and without me actually thinking about it, where I'd put Gligar, I would have said S tier before this. But looking at it, Granbull is worse by a I got it. By a significant margin. Yeah, by a lot. Granbull is just ugly and not like good ugly. There's a good ugly in Pokemon. In fact, one of them is coming up. There's a good ugly in Pokemon. This is not a good ugly. This is just ugly. Right there. Quillfish is a better ugly. It's cute. It's a pufferfish. But it's a good way to do a pufferfish. It really just looks like a big old spike ball, which is cool. Now, Quillfish isn't great. It's pretty lackluster, and it's pretty boring. And don't even get me started about how it is in the games, because it's not. No one ever uses Quillfish. But I do like it. I do think it's here. I do like it more than Chikorita. Yeah, right there. Scizor. S. Top of S. 100%. One of my favorite Pokemon ever. Super strong design. Very intimidating. Very sharp. Very cool. S tier. 100%. Shuckle. I like Shuckle. Shuckle's funny. Shuckle's a very good... I like Shuckle a lot, actually. Shuckle's probably... Well, do I like Shuckle more than... Yeah, I do. But I think that's where Shuckle stops. Put Shuckle at the bottom of A. Heracross. Tempted... Oh, this is odd. Tempted for another S. Not going to lie with Heracross. I'm really tempted to throw it up in S tier. But do I like it more than Typhlosion? I don't. Do like it more than Fur, though. Sneasel is pretty cool. I don't dislike Sneasel. I think its evolution is way better design than it. But where do I want Sneasel? I like Sneasel more than Meganium. Sneasel should probably be B tier. I do like it more than a lot of the... I don't like it more than Polytoed, though. So Sneasel will sit right there. Okay, Teddiursa. Teddiursa is very cute. Teddiursa is a teddy bear. That's the whole thing. It's very cute, but it's pretty boring. It's a pretty boring way to do a bear. I get it. I get like it's a teddy bear. It's just simple and cute, and I get that. It's not very fun though. Teddiursa is gonna go. I do think it's better than a lot of like these, but I think I stopped the line at it being better than Hoot Hoot. Ursaring is better, but I think Ursaring is literally just better. Right there. Slugma. I like this Lava Slug a lot. I think this Lava Slug is great. I thought Slugma was Gen 3. I was mistaken. I thought I was waiting on Slugma. Slugma's cool. I think we can throw Slugma somewhere in B. Actually, nah, Slugma A tier. Ahead of Shuckle. I think Magcargo is worse. I don't think by too much. But I like Magcargo significantly less. And I don't really know why. Because it may just be that I think the design gets a little busy. Like, I don't think the shell is necessary. I also think it's kind of boring because it literally is basically just Slugma with a shell on it, which is sort of one of the reasons I don't like Slowbro either. So there is that. I do like it better than Quagsire, though. Magcargo right there. Okay, yeah. We needed to get later down the list here. Swinub is S tier. Look at that pillow. You're telling me what even? I don't even know what animal it's based on, but you're telling me that you would not just that's great. That's a great friend. That's a good Pokemon. That's a Swinub. Pillow Swine is worse by a good margin. It's pretty boring. It's kind of just nondescript tusked mammal. Its colors aren't interesting. It's just brown. If a Pokemon's brown, I think with, obviously some exceptions, but I think usually if a Pokemon is like brown or like a normal fur color, it usually gets ticked down a fair bit just in my head. There are exceptions. Like Galarian Meowth is an exception. Swinub is an exception. Trying to think of another one. The fact that it's hard for me to think of another one should tell you a lot. But just it's just I did just put Swinub above for it. Be mad, stay mad. But the thing with Piloswine, I don't know. If a Pokemon is like a normal fur color, it just is immediately just like I think lowered for me. So I think that's honestly I was dropping Piloswine here to save for later, but that actually no, right there. It's close to putting it in the right spot. Corsola is cute. The Galarian version is better, but Corsola's cute. It's a little coral creature. I think that the concept's very strong. Execution's nice. Really good colors. It looks super friendly. There's as odd as it seems, where there's a lot of room for a Pokemon like this to be boring, but I think there's a lot of personality to Corsola. Not a lot of people use Corsola. It's not a popular Pokemon by any means. Well, this one isn't. The Galarian one is. But I think Corsola is pretty okay. I think, yeah, Corsola goes here, B tier. Remoraid is a fish. So fun fact about Remoraid, actually. In the beta, like before the game was fully released, Remoraid actually used to be a gun. And Octillery, its evolution, which I don't get why it becomes an octopus, regardless, Octillery became like a tank. And if that was the design, they would be much, much higher on my list. Remoraid's very boring. It's a fish. There's nothing special about it, really. It's a pretty boring fish. A lot of the fish are boring. Remoraid is an F tier, though. I don't know why I started moving him down there, but he's not great. Yep. Octillery's better, for sure. It's definitely stronger. The mouth is cool. It's not much stronger, but it is better. Yes, right there. Delibird. I love Delibird. I've never used a Delibird, but as far as just the Pokemon designs go, I love Delibird. I think Delibird is so fun. The little Santa penguin who give you a gift. Yeah. I don't think Octillery is not S tier. Crazy. Delibird. I like Delibird more than Ampharos. And probably more than yeah, right there, Delibird. Dang, I actually expected to put Delibird lower. Mantine is a manta ray, which is kind of a cool animal, which makes it a little better. Mantine is, but still, Mantine's pretty boring. But I think Mantine is definitely stronger than a lot of Pokemon. Mantine, we're gonna say C tier, low C. Skarmory is good. You played Mystery Dungeon. Skarmory is very scary. Because Skarmory is the first boss fight, and it's not a hard boss fight, but the fact that it's the first one makes it a lot scarier, especially when you're a child. I think Skarmory is a pretty solid design. I don't think it's stellar. I think the Corviknight, the steel bird that comes later, is much better. We're gonna put Skarmory. Dang. Yeah, Skarmory goes there. Houndour, Fire Dog. I like Fire Dog. Yeah, I like Houndour a lot, actually. I think it's better than... Yeah, right there. No, I am scared of Octopus, but not Octillery, because Octillery looks funny. Normal Octopus looks scary and know how to open a jar, which the fact that a fish can do that is terrifying. And if you don't think that, you're wrong. Houndoom is, I think, worse. I think it gets a little busy, and I get the whole devil aesthetic that they're going for, but I think it could have been executed better. Also, this is a very weird and personal thing. I wish he got more red instead of saying the same ratio of red to black. I think Houndour is worse. I think Houndour's stronger than Pichu, but still. Kingdra is a seahorse, but it's not. It's honestly, I'm trying to remember Seadra. I think I put Seadra like in C tier. What is this one's name again? I just said it. Uh-oh. Oops. I seem to have... For Kingdra. Jesus Christ. I haven't forgotten a Pokemon name in a long time. Getting old. Kingdra's better than... But he's not better than Seadra. I think Seadra is a stronger design. But I'm just going to try and observe Kingdra separately. I think Kingdra goes right there. Fanfy is an elephant. Fanfy's a good elephant, though. Fanfy's blue, and it's got these weird little red whelps, which I think makes it better. It's very cute. It's a very cute design, which I think is good. I think it's strong. Forgot to grab a drink again this stream. Because I expected this one to be much shorter than it is, but I think I'm deliberating a lot more on these because I don't remember a lot. Well, it's not that I don't remember, but I just don't think about these ones a lot. Fanfy's actually pretty strong. Fanfy may go up into A tier here. Not as good as Slowpoke. In fact, I just want to do that. Donphan is, I think, is... I'm trying to decide if I think Donphan's better or worse. They're pretty equal. I think Donphan is just a touch better. Porygon 2. Now, if you remember, I put the first Porygon in S tier. I'm putting Porygon 2 in S tier as well. And when we get to Porygon Z, he's going in S tier 2 because all three of those designs are extremely, extremely good. I think that they're probably the only line in Pokemon where I think all three of the designs are just as, all three of the evolutions are just as good as each other. It's you know, it's simple. The idea behind it is so strong, though. The colors work so well. The geometry, this isn't like to be a joke, but just like the shape and the structure of it is, I think, really solid. I think it's good. Stantler's weird. Stantler's got a weird big butt and is a deer. I don't like Stantler. I'm just gonna say it. I think Stantler's very boring. I think Stantler's weird. I think Stantler's kind of ugly. I think Stantler goes there. Smeargle is a painter. He's a little painter dog. He's got a painter tail. He's got a little beret grown in. I think he's very cute. Right there. Did I say... I said Smeargle, didn't I? Or did I say Stantler? Whatever. That's Smeargle. Smeargle goes there. I think the concept's really strong, but the design, I think there could have been more done there. Tyrogue is a boy. Tyrogue is a weird little boy with knots on his head. Who I do like though. I do like Tyrogue. I think Tyrogue is a strong design. It's just all of the like super humanoid Pokemon are kind of weird to me, and Tyrogue's one of them. That's like almost too human. They're like Mr. Mime is very far removed from being human. Tyrogue is very close. He's almost like Machop levels, but I do like him more. I think the coloring and the growths on his head make it stronger and a lot more dynamic as a design. So we're going to throw Tyrogue right about here. Is that right? Is that where I want him? Actually, here. Hitmontop. Ooh, the second Hitmon I'm putting in S tier. Ah, I grabbed Delibird by mistake. Where was Delibird? Delibird was... Oh, dang. I moved a few things. What happened? Sorry, I had to grab... Is that where I put Delibird before? Hold on. I'm watching the playback. Delibird was ahead of Quilava. That's right. Hitmontop. S tier. I think right there. Hitmontop's fun. Concept's cool. He does the spin. He does the kicks. He's super cool. Hitmonlee and Hitmontop are very, very strong. Hitmonchan's boring, Hitmonchan's boring, and I'll fight that battle till the day I die. Smoochum's cute. Smoochum, I think, works. Smoochum is very human, but I think it being bright pink helps a lot. It looks, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Smoochum is also like that very fine line, which makes me sort of regret that I called it cute because it does look like a child. But I think Smoochum is better. Not as good as Togepi, but I think it's better than these two. Elekid, yeah, we're in all the babies now. All the baby Pokemon. Which a couple of these I think are really strong. Like Elekid, I think is very good. I think the plug on its head is very cute. I think that it's a very dynamic design. I think that the evolutionary line as a whole is very strong. So I'm going to put Elekid probably pretty high. Maybe not too high. I think I like it right. I think right here, actually. Yes, split up. Magby, though. Magby's going to be the one I put high because I love Magby. According to the Pokedex entry, Magby's snot like burns as hot as lava, which is really funny because you can never clean this kid's runny nose, and that's hilarious to me. I always leave a Magby in the daycare, so it'll torture the daycare staff. Anyways, Magby, right there. Miltank. Okay. Now, Miltank is a big old cow with a big old udder, and that's weird, and we don't need to talk about that for too long. As far as its design goes, I think Miltank's pretty boring. I think that it's got a lot of personality to it, which is nice, especially in this art. But I think on the whole, Miltank's pretty boring. In the context of the game, its design is a lot better, like in the context of the world. But as far as its design, just sort of standing on its own, I think it's pretty dull. I do like it better than these ones, but I don't think I like it more than the Unknown. Blissey's weird. Blissey's weird to me. I don't know. Blissey's that whole line is weird. I think that whole line is just a weird design. It's not necessarily bad, but they're just weird. I just don't think they're super great. On him, I think right about. I like it more than these two though. All right, okay. We're in the we're in the legendaries and the pseudo legendaries now. So this is now, if there's going to be strong feel, well, I think any of the super strong feeling Pokemon people, I don't think any of them are on stream with us tonight, which is good, which means I don't have to argue that much. But if anywhere is going to get me in trouble, it's here. Because if people have strong feelings about anything in Generation 2, It is the legendaries 100% and the mythicals. Raiku is, I think, the worst of the dogs, of the 3 dogs. I think Raiku is, definitely the worst of the dogs. Its design's weird. Its design's a little busy. The tail's odd. The little mask it has is strange. I don't think its mane is super interesting or very well executed. I think it's just it looks very cobbled together. I think it's very, I don't want to use the word lazy, but it just looks like not a lot of thought went into it. Yeah, I think it sits right there. Entei is the best of the 3 dogs. Its mane works better. The whole volcano aesthetic, the spikes, its mask, the way it goes around its face is a lot stronger. I think the ankle guards or whatever it has, there's a lot of details to this one, but I think especially with the colors, the other thing is that Raiku's face is very dull while its body's very bright, so your eye is drawn to the body, which it shouldn't be. Entei's the opposite, where his headpiece has all the bright colors, so you're immediately drawn into the face before anything else, which is very good, and that's very good use of color. So he's very good. It's a very strong design. Is it S tier? No. Is it A tier? Yes. Where is it in A tier? I think right, I think right here, behind Ampharos. Suicune is in the middle. I think it's definitely a lot better than Raiku. It's not too much worse than Entei, but it is worse than Entei. But I think that what makes Suicune work well, despite it having all this stuff, is that it's the shapes that are used in it are a lot better. It having this super tall headpiece and the way that the ribbons pull to the front, again, draws you into the face early. You're looking at the Pokemon face first. I think if a Pokemon doesn't do that, if the first thing you notice, unless it has a gimmick or something very important to its body, which none of the dogs have, you should be drawn into the face first, because that's going to tell you a lot about the personality. So be the face first, and then color should come secondary. I think Suicune has a lot of just visual geometry that draws you into its face, which is strong. I think that's very important for the dogs because their designs are very busy, but 2 of their designs are very balanced, which makes them better. I think I'm going to throw Suicune. Yeah. Yep, right here. Good few Pokemon behind it. Okay, so now we have the Pseudo Legendaries. I have to talk about these less. Larvitar is cool. He's a little scrappy guy. He's got a good personality. Looks like he could beat you up. It's all the things I'm looking for in a first stage, really strong Pokemon. I'm not looking for stoicism yet, which is good. Personality is strong. I think the color work is strong. Where do I want him though? Actually, yeah, I think that's good. Pupitar is worse, primarily because it's just a weird little cocoon. I don't super get why it does why this evolutionary line I've never actually understood why that line has a cocoon in the middle of it. It does not make a lot of sense to me. I have no real idea why this actually happens. Which makes this Pokemon, this is a bias and it's sort of outside of the design, which I know, but whatever, I make the rules in my stream. I don't know. There's something about it that I've never got, which makes the design a lot worse to me when you put it in context of the evolutionary line. That said, it's not too bad. I do like it better than a few, but I think it goes right here. Tyranitar is a very good design. The big Godzilla type, kaiju almost. It's super cool, super strong. I think that the way that they've handled everything on it, despite it having all the spikes and the detailing, is very, very well done. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's better than Entei. We'll stop him there. All right. Now here comes my controversial opinion. Everyone loves Lugia. Point blank. I've yet to meet someone who is into Pokemon who doesn't like Lugia. I don't dislike Lugia. I just don't think Lugia is that good. At least, especially design-wise. I think Lugia is really boring. It's sort of just a big thing with big hands that are wings also. The typing also doesn't make any sense, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know. There's just something weird about Lugia. I don't think its colors are very strong. Like the white, I just don't think it works. It's very muted. I think it's very boring. I really do. I think it's definitely better than a lot of these in B tier though. But do I want to move it into A tier somewhere? No, I don't think I do. I think I want to put it right there. Ho-Oh is better. Ho-Oh is definitely better. Than Lugia, I think. I don't think much better. I don't think the legendaries in this gen are super strong. They're as strong as they really need to be, but they're definitely like not stellar. Put Ho-Oh behind Shuckle. 1, because that is what I believe, and 2, because that's just really funny. Celebi is not a legendary, but it is a mythical, and it's the second mythical after Mew. And it's a good little design. I like the little onion fairy. It's cute. It's cute. It works. It's like based on a pixie, and that's strong. That comes through well enough. The dark circles around the eyes are good. There's a lot of contrast to it. The color cohesion is strong to a point where it isn't boring, especially where they put the colors. It has very good shapes. I think I'm going to stop it just behind Gligar. And with that, all right, so yeah. And then like last time, I'll just go over the S tiers again. I think we have less S tiers, I believe, this time than in Gen 1, but we have Scizor, Murkrow, Cyndaquil, Hitmonlee, Aipom, Swinub, Yanma, and Porygon 2. And with that, that'll be it for this week. I think we will do Gen 3, because this stream while it was a lot less controversial and a lot less heated than the last one was, I do think that I'm still very much enjoying doing these, and that's all the reason that I really need to continue them. So yeah, we will be doing Gen 3 next week. I'm very excited. It's one of my favorite gens. It also has my favorite Pokemon in it, so I'm gonna get to gush on that, and that'll be fun to talk about. So all that said, thanks everyone for stopping in. I hope that I didn't trash your favorite Pokemon too bad, and if I did, well, I'm probably right. All that said, again, yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all next week. See ya.